Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your body, your mindset, your fitness from where you are right now to being unstoppable. And today I want to talk to you about waking up early and attacking your goals, because so many of us waste our life in bed. And if you can get up early and really attack those goals that you want to achieve for yourself in life, then every single day you are chipping away further and further at what it is that you want, whatever it is that you define as success for you. Because I'm here to tell you that mediocrity sucks. I've lived at that level of life for so long that about 5 years ago I decided that enough's enough. It is time to step up. It's time to change all of this because it just sucks. The average millionaire wakes up at 4 a.m. So a number of years ago, I decided that in order for me to get more done in my day, I needed to get up and attack the day. Now, I didn't start getting up at 4 a.m. Straight away. I get up at 20 past 4. This morning I was up at 3 something and I just couldn't get back to sleep. So I thought, okay, might as well just get up around 4-ish. And I decided that I needed to get more done. And when is the best part of the day to get things done? Well, initially you won't think it's 4 a.m., but once you condition yourself to doing this, you realize how much you can get done. Why? One, because most people are sleeping, but you also know that most of those millionaires that are successful out there are already up and they're already working. And if you've got a global business, people are up all over the world all the time, even when you are sleeping. So 4 a.m., certainly if you're working in your local area and your employees, they're asleep. So you don't have the distraction, you don't have the disruption. I find personally that the early time of the day is when I'm working best. Initially, you might find that you feel tired when you get up, but if you have a purpose and you attack it, those goals, when you get up, you want to spring out of bed in the morning because you've got such a hunger to work on those goals that you've set for yourself. Another problem is that most people don't set these targets for themselves. They don't have a greater purpose in life, so they don't go about the process of, well, what do I want to achieve tomorrow? Never mind, what do I want to achieve in my lifetime? What do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to achieve this month? And they can't even work out what it is that they want to do today. Oh, I'll just go to work because they're an employee. But you're different. You are driven to succeed, and what you need to do is attack those goals every single day. And if you get to the early morning and you find that you don't want to get out of bed, then there's something wrong with your goal. It's not big enough. It's not making you hungry enough to jump out of bed and do it. Here's the thing. You are where you are in your life because of all the actions that you've taken up to this point. And I know that many people will justify why they are where they are for a number of different reasons. It might be blame. It might be, I'm really glad with where I am, and that's due to all of these things and all these people, etc., etc. But most of us tend to go on the downside and say, well, I'm not where I am because this has held me back, or because COVID, or because this event, or because my partner, or because the kids, because something that has just held you back in your mind. But what you need to realize is that it's time for you to take responsibility to make your life happen the way that you want it to happen. It's up to you. Let me say that again. Take responsibility to make your life happen. The trouble is that most people don't map out their life. They don't have a greater purpose of what it is that they want to achieve. They just kind of go from, oh, well, I think I'll head in this direction, so I'll do that. And then once you get into a career, most people just stay there and They think about, oh, well, maybe I should try and apply for this position, which it's a little bit higher up than where I am in my organisation. So maybe I'll just apply for that one. I'll just move up a little bit here, a little bit here. But most people don't even think about that. But they certainly don't think about, how do I move from where I am right now, if I'm in the mailroom, to running the organisation? Most people don't have that type of mindset. But again, you're different. And you are taking responsibility for your life and making it happen. Because if you're listening to this right now, I know that you want to make a difference. I know that you are successful and you have a successful mindset, but you're not where you want to be yet. And you're looking to go to that next level. My whole life changed when I conditioned myself to get up early in the morning and get work done. And I would be disappointed if I couldn't get up early because of whatever reasons, that my partner didn't want me to get up, or there was just something else going on. And I'd be disappointed, so I'm like, man, I need to get up. I need to go and do this. I'm so ready to go and do this in the morning. And as soon as I get up, like I want to have breakfast at my desk and keep on working, because it's like, right, I'm ready. I'm setting myself up for success today. I'm getting more done. And I would get what would seem like 4 hours of productivity done in 2 hours, because of how fired up I was, how my mindset was working at such a great rate at that time of the morning, how there was little distraction, like there was no phone calls, there was no text messages, there were no Facebook messages, there were no... I would close emails, but that wasn't an issue for me. I wasn't waiting on something pressing to come through that I needed to respond to, and I could just focus on that thing that I wanted to, getting me closer and closer to my goal. The big one that I did a few years ago was my book. And I would get up early and I would just keep working on the book, keep working on it, until it was done. And that's the thing. You don't go to bed when you're tired, you go to bed when it's done. Most of us get a little bit tired and think, okay, it's time to stop now. But that's the time where you should practice pushing yourself, pushing into that tired zone and seeing what you're really capable of, rather than just saying, well, I'm a little bit tired now, I should be stopping. You want to push yourself. The millionaires, the billionaires, they don't go to bed when they're tired, they go to bed when it's done. And does that mean that you maybe have periods of time where you go without a lot of sleep? Probably. But what does that mean? Is that unhealthy, you might say? You're always talking about health and wellness and everything and getting the right amount of sleep. That's true. But there are certain times in your life where you have to push and you have to perhaps go without that sleep. And what that means is maybe the next day you can have a rest during the day. Like there'd be some days where I'd be getting up at 4:20 and maybe by early afternoon, maybe I'd need to have a little nap because I've got to go into the rest of the night. And I would find even a 15-minute nap would just really refresh me. Just let my mind rest and make sure that I had enough energy to get through the rest of the day. Because I find that I operate best early in the morning. Sometimes it can be late at night as well, just depending on what's happened through the day. But I certainly find my creative time certainly is best in the morning. It's certainly best in the morning. And certainly with COVID at the moment, and I know, I was talking to somebody in San Diego yesterday, and they said, look, their life's just back to normal over there. I thought, oh, really? Geez, I said, we're still in lockdown 7 months. Tomorrow we might have a slight wind back of that. But for people that are living in Melbourne, unless you're living here, you don't really get it. But the fatigue, emotionally, mentally, physically, as a result of the emotional and mental stuff, is making me fatigued. And so I find by late afternoon, I can feel quite tired, just drained. And I go to bed completely exhausted. The head hits the pillow and bang, I'm out. Although this morning I woke up and I was thinking about all the things that I needed to do, and then I couldn't get back to sleep, which is why I was awake since about 3 something. But the point is, some days that you're going to need to go without the sleep. And if you need to have a nap through the day to help reinvigorate you, then you can do that later. But push yourself, because mediocrity sucks. Remember this. It starts with the end in mind. What are your goals? What do you really want to achieve? And when they are so powerful, they will burn the soles of your feet, because you cannot stand still, because you're so fired up about working every single day until you get to where it is that you want to get to. And that means that the clock, no matter how early it is in the morning, really doesn't matter to you, because you're just ready to go. Now, does the fact that you just get up early make all the difference? No, it doesn't. But you've got to get up early and attack the day, attack the goals with purpose. Not just get up early and sit around watching TV. That's not going to get you anywhere. We're talking about attacking it with purpose. Going at what it is that you want to achieve. Your purpose. That's what we want to aim for, because mediocrity sucks. Remember, the average millionaire wakes up at 4 a.m. It's time to take responsibility, to make your life happen. Don't expect someone else to come along and give you the answers for this. You've got to do it. This is life's journey for you. So you are where you are, and let's say that that's in a painful spot or a spot where you're not quite at. There's a reason that you're there. It's like life's little journey telling you that, well, I'm not just going to give it to you on a platter. You're not ready for that yet. Those things in life are for those that work really hard. They are the people that step up, step out of their comfort zone, do the work that others won't. And you haven't done that yet, so I'm not going to give it to you. You've got to do it so that you can earn it, and then say, wow, now I understand why I hadn't had it until now. Because I hadn't worked hard enough, I hadn't worked smart enough, I hadn't had the right coaching, I didn't know what I was doing. But now that I do, and now that I've done it, that all makes sense to me. It's such a powerful connection. The trouble is, most of us look into the future, look at what we want, and can kind of see how to get there, but maybe it's always out of reach, because we haven't connected all the dots or all the steps or all the rungs in the ladder to keep climbing up to the top. And we think, oh, well, if I just keep doing this, that'll get us there. But then maybe if you put an extra 2 hours of super productive time into your day at the start of each day, maybe that's the first stepping stone to help you get further to where it is that you want to get to. And don't listen to all the stuff that people say about, oh, that's just way too early. Anyone that asks you or questions you about why you get up at 4 a.m., you should probably not even bother having a conversation with them, because the successful people don't ask why you get up at 4 a.m. They know. They know that you get up at 4 a.m. because you are so driven to achieve what it is that you're working towards. And that's really empowering, and that's when you know you're standing in the right room. Life is tough, but you are tougher, but you still have to keep consciously pushing yourself to an area where you may feel uncomfortable, but that's where the growth is. And that's what's really important to remember. If you want to be a millionaire, if you're not there yet, just remember the average millionaire wakes up at 4 a.m. The average billionaire is probably the same, 4 to 5 a.m. So if you're not doing that right now and you want to get there, then if it's good enough for them, it's good enough for you. You've got to start getting up earlier. You've got to start focusing more. And you might say, oh, but I work later. I guarantee you this, that they work more hours than you. They're more productive than you. But it's a great place to start. Get more done in the morning. Attack the day. Wake up early. It's worth it. You're worth it. Success is just ahead of you. You just have to keep digging further and further. It's like in the gold mine, and you're digging and digging and digging, and there's two people digging side by side, maybe one above each other, and one has dug for long enough and says, "No, there's no gold here." But perhaps the gold is just on the other side, and the person digging in the tunnel above you keeps on going, and they find it. It's just beyond maybe where you are right now. Tony Robbins says this quite well, I think. He says that the step from average to excellent is huge. Like, it's a huge step. But he said the step from excellent to outstanding is just that smidge above it. Just that little bit more. It's not the same amount of work that you've had to do to get from just mediocre to excellent. But to get to outstanding is just that little bit more. And all the rewards at outstanding are way, way more than excellent. So you just have to keep pushing to get there. Just keep driving. If that means getting up earlier, that's what you need to do. Wake up early and attack your goals. See you tomorrow.